Mr. Speaker, I rise today as a member of this body who was born of the reform movement. When I first started hanging around Harrisburg, I was outside on the front steps. I was shaking my fist at the members in this room. But at no time in those 10 years did I ever suggest that we reduce the size of this body. I rise, Mr. Speaker, to oppose this bill because of the unintended consequences it will have, because we are looking to move this bill in a vacuum. We have to ask, who will this bill, if finally adopted by the people, who will it empower? Or in my mind, it will empower the special interests and lobbyists. They'll be getting a 25% discount for access to this body. We'll be empowering local party bosses to groom and raise hand-picked successors in smoke-filled rooms. Also, at one time, this body was run using strong-arm tactics and browbeating. Now, that's thankfully changed in the last 10 years, and we have a good leadership team. But fewer members would make it easier for some future leader to return to strong-arm tactics and bullying to make this body run. Let's talk about who this bill, if passed and adopted by the people, would disempower. It would disempower rural constituents. It'll make it less likely that a constituent will get to meet with their representative. While urban districts may not substantially increase in geographical size, some rural districts will vastly increase in size, increasing travel demands for the representatives to meet with folks in the district. Let me talk about the numbers for a second. I've heard a couple people say that 203 is not a magic number. In fact, it was a mistake, and in fact, it was a mistake. It was a mapping mistake after the 1968 convention. 203, however, is a magic number. I will argue that 151 is not a magic number, nor is 400 the number of members of the New Hampshire House, nor is 99 the number of members of the Ohio House. But 203 is, in fact, a magic number. Not in the abstract, but in this situation, 203 is a magic number because it is the number of members we have now. It's important sometimes to have consistency. We can't do change just for the sake of change. I've also heard that this is a money-saving proposition, but truly, if we want to save money, why don't we vote to eliminate our district offices? Why don't we vote to consolidate caucus operations or to merge our print shops together? That would really save money. Changing a number alone is not reform, Mr. Speaker. We're doing this in a vacuum. When you do it in a vacuum, you will have unintended consequences. You will have a detrimental impact on rural constituencies. Now, ultimately, I get it. The people will have the ultimate say on whether this is actually adopted as part of our Constitution. But it is our responsibility, Mr. Speaker, to give the people responsible proposals that are well thought out. Not just well-intentioned, but well thought out. And if we think about the unintended consequences, Mr. Speaker, and the impact of this bill on the rural communities of our state, we should absolutely not pass this on to the voters to ratify at the ballot box. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.